Inano samane shateya. Maneni anani anano salabaso yaya. Eyayana niana no sade kasabadosa. Inano samano saye. Kingdom come, kingdom come, kingdom come, thy will be done. He's the life that flows from the throne of grace.
True nobility in life is knowing the Lord and walking in His way. The most glorious pursuit of mankind is walking in God's image and likeness. It is our utmost desire that you'll be richly blessed as you listen to this message from Living Scroll Ministry, aka It's the Bible Network. For more life-transforming messages, please visit www.livingscrollministry.org.
He's the life that flows from the throne of grace.
Okay, please, let me just start. I want to introduce myself again. I am Emeka Azubike. I'm not actually scheduled for today, but this program is very important because I sat under Pastor Dave's teaching and I took some decisions and it's cumulated to something worthy of note. Yeah, I remember one day he gave us a training like this many years ago, and I ventured into as common as nose mask selling, and I can't tell you how much I made from that. It was mind-blowing how much I made. I had a conversation with, you can put your hands together if you don't mind. Yeah, the last time I saw him, I told him some of these things are working. Because after a conversation with him, I entered into, are we online? Okay, so I have to be conservative. Yeah, because of where I work. You know, so I bought some stuffs, and when I sold them, I made a whole lot of gain on those things. So what I'm saying in essence is that let our heart be open for this training. It may not sound so loud, but something in you will stir up into business. The truth is that people say there is no money. I work in the bank, and most times we load our ATM with millions and get exhausted. And I ask questions: who withdrew the money, spirits or ghosts? So that means there is money somewhere, only for us to find it. So, Pastor, thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir.
All right, and we appreciate Pastor Emeka Azubike. Now, you know, he said something. You know, most times say no money. Please, are we aware that money in circulation never disappears? Rather, there is always more money. But the thing about money is a wayfaring man. Money moves. So it moves from a location to another what? Location. So when you say there is no money, that means you are not within the location of money. Because money is ever what? Existent. As far as so long as this word stand, there is always what? Always money. Not only money, there is always more money. So these are things you must hold. Tell yourself again and what? Again. We say there is no money, but more buildings are going on. Okay. So these are certain things we need to let ourselves know. Another thing again, we also must know is that just like you have seasons in life, that is how money or wealth too have what? Season. Because the whole world is built on patterns. Please, I want us to listen very carefully. Patterns. The whole world exists in pattern. So everything will be subject to that law of patterns. There is a time when the rainfall comes. Does it come at all times? There are times when you can harvest a certain kind of crops. There is a time that the woman ovulates. You see patterns. Understanding these patterns and the communication between patterns, you know, the patterns of human existence is what creates wealth. So that there are times you may do the right thing, you are doing it off time. What do you call season? Sport, football. Those that like sports, there is the time they play the football, right? World Cup, we know it plays every 4 years. You know, the time they play the Premiership League and some other things, see, the world is set in patterns. So it's not just enough, oh, this is what I do, this is my skill, this is how I do things. You have to sit down and understand your environment, the patterns and the seasons in our environment. I'm giving this nuggets so that we can build into something. And then there are places we can make money from. One of the places is the earth. You know, so there are mineral resources. You know, the whole world Nigeria has is from where? It's from the ground. The resources, oil. Price of oil increases today. Petrol, this one is down. Oil. But there is more money somewhere. Wealth comes from the ground. That's why those ancient times, the wealthiest people, the richest people on earth are all those into manufacturing, gold, into all kinds of stuff today. But today now, if you go and check the 5 richest men on earth, their earth is not from the ground, their earth is from the human mind. From where? From the mind. There is wealth in man. Just like you have wealth inside the soil. A human being, there is so much wealth inside. So understanding human beings, just understanding human being, there is more money there than doing your physiological study. There is mineral resources here, there is gold here. Should I give you a practical example? There are things about the human life. Number one, I'll just list some of them. Number one is anxiety. Number two, need. Anxiety, need. 2. Number 3, conquest, dominion. These are places that people have made billions of dollars, or millions of naira, or thousands of naira. These things I'm calling. Another one is fear. I mean, I've mentioned fear. Another one is faith. Faith. Another one is pleasure. Pleasure. These things are richer than oil. Should I give a practical example? You know, the human nature is anxious. Now, remember these movies they do now. I'm coming to now movies now. It's not enough that, okay, doing creative motion. They do it in such a way that, you see those things they do on maybe Facebook. They do clips every 2 days. You see what they call suspense? Can you see? This is just human anxiety. They know you are anxious, you just want to know the next thing. When you hook up on something, you want to know so they will just do it 5 minutes, they will send it to you. After some time again, say 2 days, you are eager for the next 2 days. Where they are making money from somewhere. Where are they making? Is it from the soil? From where? Just from you. You say you don't have anything, but somebody will look at you and see where he can make money from you. Can harvest a lot of wealth from you. Just that anxiety. You know that man is anxious. So people get into that anxious nature, what called suspect. You just create those things and then they start making money. All these things they do again. I give us another example. Even from your fear, kidnappers, where are they making money from? You're not afraid. When fear now, other industry too now start benefiting. Look at plane transport. Those days, if I go to Akure airport now, we may be like few inside the plane. Yeah. But when kidnapping started, the plane is filled up. Can you see? So that is a secondary benefit. Just fear. Oh, they tell you, okay, this thing is happening now. They just create something. And then before you know it, they start harvesting stuff. Just from what? Your human what? You see, there are things about the human life they translate to also wealth. You know, I talk about understanding pattern. You understand your environment. And one of the environment you understand is even the human life. Praise the Lord. Mention another one. Even faith. How many of us have bought books? We bought books, faith. You know that you want to build your faith life. You go to extreme extent, right? And everything has become, look at all those ministers of the gospel that are very rich. Where do they make money from? From the human quest for what? For faith. For faith. Mention another. What's the other one I mentioned? So you see, these things are now resources. Pleasure. All your entertainment world is what? Pleasure. Just pleasure. To feed the fantasy of men. Even lust, they turn lust to money. In fact, one of the biggest industry now, pornography, is lust. They know this lust, this quest, this hunger that you have inside now. They just build something around it to just feed it. In feeding it, they are now harvesting a lot of money. Everything inside the man translates to wealth. So you cannot say, things are difficult, I don't have this. There is no just excuse in this life. Because wealth is everywhere. Is everywhere. And Jesus demonstrated this principle. And God himself demonstrated this principle. The people were thirsty one time. He said they should go and meet the rock, that the rock will give them water. What you need is everywhere. That's the principle. They want to meet a rock, and the rock give them water. You and I, if you stand beside the rock now, can you see water there? Anytime God does something, he's trying to communicate the principle to you. One time they asked them to go and they needed money for taxation, right? What did Jesus do? He said, go back to fishing. When you catch 2 fish, you see money there, go and use it to what? To pay. To pay. A fish was carrying money in his mouth. Jesus is a prophet. Those actions he does is not because he wanted to solve a need. I need money. God is tutelage. Anything God does, he teaches man. That's why we say it's our example and everything. When it comes to taxation, you cannot pay tax on miracle. Supernaturally was feeding them. He sent Peter to go back to his vocation. Go back to fishing. Taxation is a product of productivity. I have done this. I have made this amount. You take part of it to pay. Now he sent him to go and fish. From that vocation. And he went, he caught something, he brought out the fish, and he said there is work there. Anything you need financially. Before Jesus met Peter, he was a fisherman, right? You see, sometimes before you met God, whatever you need, God has already placed it inside. Even before you get born again. You don't abandon it. You don't abandon it. There were extreme cases in scripture, and it happened for a reason. You don't use it to build a pattern. God was any manna from heaven. When they got to the land, they didn't have a land. When they get to the land, the manna stayed, and they had to cultivate that land. Because you are not built to live on miracle. You are built to live on productivity. Miracles are intervention. Even your health, God will teach you the principle of health. Miracles for man is interventionist. It's not the normal course of life. It's just like your car breaks down and you take it to a mechanic. Is it the normal course? He repairs it, you start what? Start moving. God will start teaching you how to maintain your health. He can say, tune down the volume of your sugar intake. We will not hear, because we have more faith than God. That's how he leads you. You are now in your 60s now, you are suffering from diabetes. Why? God, I've been believing, I've been following God. You veered off 35 years ago. And then you now harden your heart. You now put hardness of heart and put it on top. God has nothing to lose here. Where he prepared for you is heaven. It's you and I that will make up our mind that want to stay here some more. He said, precious in the eyes of the Lord is the death of his saints. You dying is precious to you. So it's yourself that will keep yourself here. Okay, thank you. And verse 2, he said to die is what? It's gain. They see it as gain. He said, welcome home. Amen. You see how it works. Another one. I talked about pleasure, right? All this BB Nigeria, Abi. You see the money they are harvesting from. They create something. Can you see? Men understood certain and then they went ahead to create something. And immediately they bring it out, they take the market. Because they say that all these things that I listed, these are the hunger points of the human life. What about need? This one is basic need. All of us need good food. In this school now, food away, and where where they sell very good food. You know that this place their food is good. You know that this one is better. Where do you go next? This one is just meeting basic human needs. People want secure driving. Some people come, they are so particular about their security. They won't want to enter any taxi anyhow. You just stop the taxi, just carry you. That's the end of you. That's why they went and let's create something. Get the data of all our drivers. They created the Bolt, Uber, right? There's a sense of a bit measure of security there when it started, but now, so you just driving, you want to create a measure of sense of security around it, and then you push it out. People land in the airport, they won't even take, people now, some don't even take boats. because they want security. So even from this driving arena, you want to build a measure of security around it and then communicate it to people. And then you discover that you begin to take a share of the market. Please, what respond to the things that you do? No miracle money. What did we say? No miracle money. That's not the mind of God for you. And Jesus demonstrated when he sent Peter to go and fish. He sent him back to his skill. You want money to pay tax, because I won't be here tomorrow. Yes, but you have to do it. So you can see, just pleasure. Another one is conquest. That one has more money. You see, there's something about God. You see, human being is dominion, conquest. You know, football is a very sweet game, but they added dominion to it. You hope you are aware. Are you aware that a lot of people are not watching football? It's not. They are not watching football. That they want to watch football. What is propelling them is dominion. They are not out to watch good football. You just want Chelsea to win. I'm a Chelsea fan. You want to dominate. You get that dominion. So they built it into that sport. Mind you, like that. Even if you don't play anything, let them see that in the fact. At the end of the day, win, you are okay. It's that dominion. So you see that race. I came first. All of these things from somewhere, that is conquest. They built it around the human being is conquest. You want to conquer. You see how it works? So in the sport, football, which other one again? Even the BB, some has a measure of pleasure and conquest. Pleasure and then conquest. When they build conquest into it, they now take it higher. Higher. You want to win. That's it. Just this conquest. You want to just conquer. Let us make man. Let them have what? Dominion is our basic nature. And that's why you feel less when you are not dominating. What is dominion? You see, this is dominion. Now, when you are not able to dominate your need, you see that begin to feel very less. You need to have complex. You see, inferiority complex. Why that a rich man doesn't have that complex? Yes, because money is an instrument of conquest. It's in Proverbs. So he said the poor answer with entreaty. You know, he said, but the rich answer roughly. You see that conquest, because you know you can. I want to go anywhere now. Like now, look at ABUBAKAR now. You can say that place now and say there is no land. There is land there. You see, anytime a bank comes, they always buy property. And the heart of the place is resources. The whole world answers to resources, power, money. What? In the heart of Abuja, even beside Aso, you can buy land there. Maybe you have not made enough offer. You think they cannot relocate this school? This whole school, Futa. Think they can relocate it? You've not dropped the offer. Yes. Jesus himself taught it that money is the god of this world. He did not equate. He didn't say Satan. He said you cannot serve God and what? Money. Money has the same influence over people that God has over people. The same influence that God has on people. Money has the same what? Influence. That's why I say you can't serve God and what? Mammon. So even if Satan himself is coming, you're going to hide inside Mammon. That's why when he came to Adam and Eve, did he appear directly? He hid inside the serpent. He hid in their environment. Inside your environment. And what are your environment? See, this thing we mentioned, fear, pleasure, need. That's where he hides. Where did he hide to destroy Esau? Is it not need? Send me your what? Inside need, he hid inside need. Sometimes inside pleasure. That woman wanted to sleep with Joseph by all means. Is it because Satan wants to destroy his destiny? Those things were sponsored. So Satan hides in your what? Environment. And that is why you must gain the mastery over what? Your environment. There are some spiritual battle you not fight with tongues. By speaking in tongues or by this thing. That's why when I preached a message, it's on YouTube, you can Google the Higher Deliverances, Volume 4. When Satan attacked the seed of, he attacked Israel. He attacked the seed of Abraham. You know, one of those ones he said he sent the nation to go and fight them with a sword, right? Israel too will carry a sword. Abi, sword versus what? Sword. With the other one, he wanted to attack them economically, famine. And then God raised one, the seed of Abraham. What's his name? Joseph. He came up with the wisdom that broke the. Satan wanted to scatter this. You know, when people, he said self-preservation is the first law of what? Nation. God wants to gather them in one place so that they can breed among themselves. But when there is famine, all of them will scatter. A will marry B, B will just scatter, you just pollute the seed of Israel. So Satan initiated famine in those days. And then God gave Joseph wisdom. And that wisdom, he now preserved Israel. They gave them the land of Goshen. You know, they were now there to breed themselves into what? Into a population. These are deep warfare in scripture. These are economic war. When Satan comes with economic warfare, you answer him with economic what? Warfare. Wisdom. Wisdom. Another one was just Jacob. Jacob. In the house of Laban. The man wanted to dry him and send him away empty. Then the angel came and gave him wisdom. And within the house of Laban, sometimes it's not about your environment. Are you getting this point? Yes, Jacob prospered in the house of Laban. Changed his wages how many times? Say 7 times. He wanted to send him out as a poor man. But God gave him wisdom to break through there. If you look at this nation, there's too much money in Nigeria. Chinese man will run here, Lebanese will run here, everybody's run. And we say there's no money here, we're running somewhere. If God put it in your mind to go for either reason, for a higher sense of purpose, go, but not for money. Because there's more money where you are living from. I met a man, the man is a billionaire. When I worked in the bank for a very long time, close to 2 decades, about 17 years. I met a man, the man is a multi-billionaire. In fact, he has money sitting in his account, billions of naira seated in his account, cash. Doesn't do anything, and more money is coming from. This one will enter 34 million. This one will enter. That's how money enters every month. He's now living on passive income. This one that I don't do anything, but 30 million, 50 million enters. And I asked him. He was in the US in the 70s. He said he was in the US in the 70s. I said, why did you know us now? America. He said, why did you come to Nigeria? He said he left in the 70s. He came to Nigeria and he started business with 2,000 naira in the 70s. He's a businessman. So he said that today, he now told me something that there's money in this nation. He said he's better off than all his friends that he left there. Of course, they are okay to their level, of course, measure of comfort. I'm not saying you should not go. If you are pressing your spirit to go, God, I preached a message, the land of your destiny, right? This message are there on YouTube. You can Google it, the land of your destiny. David Abubakar. You can see it there. The whole world is open. You can live anywhere. But I'm just giving us an example, right? Because ROI, rate of return, is higher in this nation than in those places on investment. Except for highly specialized, maybe all those entertainers and those genius. But for the majority of the people, the normal average people, where is the law? If you bring the minimum wage here, you know it's a lot of money. But the minimum wage there is not a lot of money. Are you hearing me? Because 10 pounds, how much is 10 pounds? Almost 20,000, right? Right? They pay you 20,000 an hour. You know it's a lot of money. So if you work for 10 hours, you are looking at 200,000. Here is a lot of money, but there is not a lot of money. You spend in pound. There are so many bills and stuff, taxation, a lot of things to pay there. Yes. So what I'm saying is that in this place there is so much here. I'm just trying to kind of wet the ground, just expand our hearts. Conquest. What did I call it? Conquest. Dominion, right? The human being is dominion. He wants to be number one. All this Olympic race. Oh, this one, he says he's a champion, he's a hero. He's still that same word. Conquest. That same spirit. So men have understood this and they are built around it. And the other one I talk about need, that's your food, your basic necessity, all of those things. Somebody wants to wear good clothes. You know, I want somebody that says I'm into fashion designing. You want to always improve yourself. People want to wear good clothes. Somebody are tired of this design. They know there are so many designs over the years. He says now after you go back to this design is too popular like that, and you have been for the past 15 years, that's the only design you are sewing. Small time you'll be thrown out of the market. Understanding the human nature that you want something new. So if you are so good in this particular style of design, you're always thinking of creating one design, you just create something new. You know you are into fashion. Why not go and look at all the clothes they wear in Malaysia? Just go and be looking at them. Go to the internet now gives you access. You know, internet can make you live in Argentina while you are living in Nigeria. Go and see the pattern of dress in Nigeria. By the time you look at 30 nations, the pattern of you come up with a new concept of dress. Am I correct? Yes. That's you are interacting and engaging your environment. Engaging your environment. Wealth comes from the things that you do. I've forgotten this one that I think I've explained everything here. Just human basic need. Then I will now tell us what God was thinking about you when He made you. Don't feel like a victim. Somebody will say because of my environment, my background. Some say because they are unfortunate because they came from so country. Some say they are unfortunate because they came from so background. Some say they are unfortunate because they did not go to school. They did not sponsor me. My father was doing well. He died when I was very small. I couldn't go to school. And how many people have not gone to school that they have succeeded? You don't succeed from school. You succeed from the human genius, from the creative genius in man. When I was working in the bank, one of the richest customers we had then, in one location that I was working, she was not educated. Yes, no. She does into this fuel business. Just where she sells petrol. She has filling station. She didn't go to school. All of us with our school, we stand at attention. If she comes, we are running there. Because she was one of our biggest clients. You know, one of the things that stops us from doing well is arrogance. Please remind me to explain it before I finish. Some of us have gone to school now and are very, very proud. When God created you, I use the word you because you are Adam. Who are you? You are Adam. God created man and then pushed him into the world. Where will he sleep? Where is he going to sleep? God put 2 bags of yam in the soil. How will he eat it? You eat it raw. You eat it raw. God just push him inside. Go and survive. Go and create your path. Go and survive on your own. And when God did that, God equipped him for survival. By this is what we call the mind. The human mind is God's creative genius in us. You have a mind. That is enough. Every other thing is second. God just send him inside the world like that. Where will he sleep? You want to sleep on top 3? You sleep on top 3. You will sort it out for yourself. You have to pull resources deep, pull yourself deep from inside to succeed in life. It's about you, not your father, your uncle, your background, your this, your all of those stories will say. Deep inside. When God created Adam, I say you are Adam. When God, He gave you fire. How are you going to generate fire on earth? Have you thought about it? The first fire. You know, First John says something that you know. He says you have an unction from the Holy One. You what? You know all things. If I meet you, I know that you know how to be a multimillionaire. I know, you know. But it's just that you are not activating it. You know, there's what called dormant account in banking. Yes, sir. The account is dormant, you are not using it. It is your own, but you are not using it. After some time, you don't even have access to it until you do certain things. When you do certain things, you activate it to life. You see, when God created man, he mentions something about seed. He said, "This tree, let their seed be inside," right? Yes. All the trees that God created, they had their seed on top. They did not drop it to the soil. What will happen? Because the seed will have to make contact with the soil for it to grow. That brings me to a very important point in life: interconnectivity of life. Every interaction, there's an ongoing dialogue between everything that God created. They are connected together. So this is how God expects. You sit down and have dialogue with yourself. Engage yourself. God created you and then push you, go and survive. And you know what? Everything that God created, God gave it to you as raw material. So God, it was a finished product, but He gave it to you as raw material. As what? They are raw materials. Okay, let me give this analogy now. How will you feel? You are very, very hungry. You get to the house. There is rice in the house. There is oil. There is Maggi. There is gas. There is ladies help me. There is pepper. There is all kinds of stockfish, croaker fish. What meat again? Goat meat. You come back to the home and there is no food in the house, and the person is looking helpless. No food in the house, and 2 days nobody has eaten, and we are now crying the victim cry. And then God will look from heaven and say, look at this foolish generation of foolish people. You have all the, what do you need to do? He said, you are supposed, can Maggi connect itself to rice? Can salt connect itself to the stockfish? Who will do the connection? God created the entire world and put man at the center of the world to connect everything together, to light up the world. And in lighting up that world, that you will find your well-being. You cannot call it wealth, anything, prosperity, anything. You see, put you at the center to connect everything together. Now we have the automobile, you have the car. What makes up the car? Metal, right? Fuel, right? What else again? Tire, rubber. All of those things are in creation. Then connecting them together, you have the automobile. Who does the connection? All those things were there in the days of creation. Adam lived his entire life, he did not drive a car. Was it because God, the raw materials were not there? Were they not there? Anything anybody does now, the element has been there since the day of creation. You see this handset that we are using? This handset, it was there in the days of Abraham. But it's just that the knowledge man had not yet grown to connect it together. So there are a lot of things now that look at the whole your environment is what did I call it? The whole earth, the whole nature is what? God gave it to man as raw material. And go and make something from it. Can you say echo together that I have responsibility? I have responsibility. That's it. If you looked at your environment, everywhere there is what everywhere. There's so much money everywhere. Moses looked at a rock. You know, we can do debate for 1 month. But in 1 second, God said, go and bring water from there. Everywhere. How about all the miracles you see? You call it miracle, but there is the law of multiplication. Right? 5 loaves of bread, right? Will feed a multitude, right? From the little resources in your hand, you can make it a multitude. From one. That's the principle of the seed principle. It's just that God activated it in another realm. One seed, one tree can become a forest. You plant one mango something, right? You know, it grows and every year is producing mango seed. Plant all of them before you know you have a forest. I say God has expectation of us. He has a very strong expectation. When He gave you the human mind, praise the Lord. You say, I don't have money, I don't have resources. You have something that is more than money. Right? It's just like somebody that your father is the president. They didn't give you any appointment. You say, I don't have power. Your father is the president. Because you are not I'm not the head of the army. I'm not the chief of army staff. I'm not the inspector general of police. I don't have power. And your father is the president. You don't know I have something that is more than the power. You see this human mind that we have. That is it. So sometimes when you even pray for those of us from the faith-based community as a believer, oh, God, help me, just help me, somebody give you money, you are giving testimony. You know, you pray in the spirit realm and activate your mind. Sometimes 2-6 months you're on that journey. Just activating your mind. Yes. Just activating things inside. When you activate it, it's like a magnetic pull. It begins to shape the environment. The opportunity you did not see before you start seeing it. Hagar was running away from Sarah. She wanted to die from thirst. She was thirsty. When the angel came, did he carry water in his hand? They said the angel opened her eyes. She saw water. It's been there. He just opened her eyes. She saw the water. The same environment that somebody has been there for the past 15 years. And you located to another environment because something is different. Somebody comes there, in 6 months he has transformed his is material life forever. Can you see? Please, when God created you, God knew and knows what He has given you, and then He just send you out. A lot of us have skills, you don't know what to do with it. Others have done things with that same skill set and they have become something. One were proud, another one were very lazy. A lot of people are very lazy. They are calling they are working hard. If you looked inside, you see laziness inside. Are we together? So we are here to have a dialogue between where you are and where you must be. There's an ongoing conversation. All this your subject you study in the university is simple. When you say economic, it's the study of money and its movement, how it moves. Economy is the study of patterns. Pattern. Even science is the study of patterns. What we call observation. Is that not the root of science? You study what? Patterns. Patterns. When you know that the appetite of in every generation have their appetite. You see that the appetite of each generation is going there. Go and wait for them there. That's it. And don't forget where we started. There is more money inside the human soul. Abi, there's more resources inside the human soul for money than where? Than the soil. Go and check the richest billionaires of today. Facebook. What's his product? What's it? You are his product. Facebook. You are his product. You know, I told you pledge, right? All those, everything inside man. Look at those Facebook. All of those Instagram. All of those online, Jeff Bezos, you know, started online retailing. If you want comfort or you want to buy a book, I will leave here, you go to Oja market. You will search. You will go and check all the bookshops. He said, you don't need to do that one. Please, let me give you a measure of comfort. Just click a button, we'll deliver it to you, but you pay more. I'm ready to pay instead of me go transport. You don't see it. This and everything. Just online retailing. They just study human life. No product. They just sit down with one computer inside one room and they are the richest people in the world. The richest people in the world, they don't trade in physical resources. They don't trade in physical resources. Those that goes into property. Some people don't have one building on their own. They just sit down, you want to buy property, you want to do something, and like that. They are into real estate. It is the dream of every young man. Every young man wants to own a house. Am I correct? Every young lady, you want to settle down, you have your own house. You see the pendulum of human movement. And when you see certain things like that, it tells you the volume of money that is there. That's how it is. So you know, like a river, you know the course of a river. Money has a course. In understanding pattern of life, behavior, human beings, their need and everything, like the things we listed when we started, you will know the flow and the channel of wealth. Somebody wants money, you blindfold yourself and start running up and down, you are looking for money. Why will you blindfold yourself looking for money? You remove the blindfold, open your eyes so that you can see where you are going. Praise the Lord. Are we together? Are we getting something? Now let me make it more practical now. You see, like I was saying that quit, I want you to write it down. Quit or exit. Quit the brain teaser. Quit the brain what? Teaser. It is what is started that grows. What you have not started cannot grow. Some people like that, so we are full of so many ideas for the past 7-10 years, but you are not making money. That's why I say quit the brain teaser, do something. I had you are full of so many what? Ideas. So many, you have them documents here and there. 7 years, 10 years, 15 years. If we meet you every time, it's a brain teaser. It's time to start earning something. Oh, I want to have I want to go into manufacturing in AKURE and everything. For the past 7 years, you have the proposal is there. A whole document. 7 years later, I have not done anything. I say it's a brain teaser. When you fly by spreading your wings. You don't fly from fantasy. Why you want no money for you to do a manufacturing company? Why not go and sell clothes that others have manufactured? And then you start building your own something. You start by selling clothes that others, at least you earn something. It is what you do, what is started that can grow. So if you want wealth, you have to start making money before you talk about wealth. You know what is different from making money? When you make money, say, I just want to divide it. Look at it now. For instance, now, I have a business. Wealth is, another synonym for wealth is abundance. Let me put it that way. Wealth is what? You know, you can have, you can make money and not have abundance. Wealth is what? Abundance. You can have an income stream. If you have this small business, you have this business there, things are coming in for you. Money is coming in, but it is not what? Is it wealth? Wealth, let me give us a practical definition of wealth. Money that is beyond your personal and your family need. You can begin to talk about wealth from there. Some of us are still struggling with our personal need. Money that is bigger is beyond what? Your personal need. Your family, apart from personal, your family what? Need. That is abundance. Where you can now go forward and further to do things. So that's how I want to make the difference. Now, some of us now, you are just satisfied with small. Thank God, you know, we're able to eat. We are not like others. And God is helping us and everything. I don't want to talk too much, so I will just. So, can you see? You see the difference between wealth and what? Just the normal money you are making money, or you are in a place that you are collecting. Maybe you are in a paid employment, or you are doing your own business. But what you are getting is just barely sufficient for you and your family. Now you ration the way you eat meat. Oh, a kilo of meat now is how much now? Please let the women tell me, the ladies. How much is a kilo of meat? 4,000. A kilo of meat is 4,000 now. Your little baby that wants to eat meat, you are rationing it very well. That's not wealth is not there yet. You are not rationing it because of maybe this boy, because of money, right? The things you are calculating, that is not wealth. Is abundance. It's a very large place. Are we together? So it is what is started that can what? You cannot grow what you have not started. If you have not started making money, you cannot grow it. That's why I say you should stop the brain teaser. Full of ideas, this and that. Translate it to something. Earn 1,000 naira. Move that 1,000 naira to 5,000 naira. Move it again until you be able to grow and then build. Do not talk about building wealth creation. Oh, what this one? This beautiful idea, this like that. Or you want to do poultry. Why from your compound? Why not rear one chicken? After it's matured, carry it and go and sell it. Rear one chicken. Oh, by the time that money come, you now know that the reward of labor is very sweet. Let me increase it to 3. Let me increase it to 4. Now you've done it on a successful ground here now. Then you cannot transport it outside. Call people to what is already successful. Don't call people to just an idea you have on paper. Yes. You are calling people into speculation. This one, by the time we do it, a lot of people are pumping money there. The thing goes down under the ground. I've been doing this at this scale. I've been making like 40,000 naira. I know that with more resources, by the time you explain it, oh, let me tell us something. Let me give you the simple secret to business financing. A good business will bring its own money. You know, I told you about the elements in the things in human life, right? Fear, anxiety, faith, conquest, right? Dominion and every faith, all those things. When you have the good business, people can see that this thing is working, they'll put in their money. A good business will bring its own resources. Oh, there's no money. Start it at that small scale, and then you start growing it. Or you just start it today now. If somebody leaves Akure now, you want to get to Lagos. In 2 minutes, you want to be in Lagos State. It takes patience. Do it well. Build a success model around it. 1, 2, 3. Do it like that. Then 1 or 2 people will see it, and then they can now put their weight behind it. But you see, every need you have here, these are very things you must believe. I'm telling you these things that you must internalize and believe. Any need you see, they have more than 1,000 people waiting to meet that need. Every need. There are people that are looking for that kind. You see some people now, there are people looking for children they can sponsor. Oh, so you see a family now, I can nobody to train them, my children are not going to school. There are people looking for people they can sponsor through school. Oh, God has blessed me, I have this body, I want to sponsor people through school. There are people there, can you see? Every need has its own connecting answer, because the whole world is one symphony of existence. All things are connected together. So seeing all things connectivity, the interconnectivity of the entire human life, you need to get into that. And then there's communication inside. Things are communicating. You look at the sun. The sun is communicating with the mango tree. Am I correct? And what's the name of that communication? You call it photosynthesis. If the mango tree is communicating with the soil, right? It's communicating with the atmosphere. You see, butterfly pollinate some of those, even manure, they fix it that you don't like is smelling, right? Like that, they fix it. The people are looking to buy it, and everything is into the whole world is one single communication. If you stay outside of that communication, then you are staying outside of value, outside of maybe wealth, resources, or something. But get inside the communication. Can you see? All things are connected, and this communication, this interconnectivity talks about what? Interdependency. One thing depend. I say everything is connected together. That means one thing depend on what? One thing depend on the other. And this interdependency now talks about another thing again, is what? Value. You depend on me because I have some value that you need, and I depend on you because you have some value that what? That I need. Is this value that becomes what? Because everything is expressed in money. Is this value that becomes money? So if you want to work, you are going to create value. Where you are, you hold some certain value already. Let me give us an example. I met somebody in the airport. It's somebody I've always known. Where I was working, he was driving one of our bus. Okay. Somebody say when I got in, I'll come to this story. When I got to the university, we had this Cameroonian was teaching us economics. When you come first, that's what it normally does to fresh students. He said there's no free lunch, discuss. He said there is no free lunch, discuss. And all of us will be raking our bill. Where are we going to discuss from? I say the whole world is connected together. It's one single existence. Praise the Lord. Are we getting it? All things are what? Connected together. Even the people that you hate, you are connected to them. I know a lot of us don't like the Fulani. They are killing people, herdsmen. But if you want to do well, they go and buy their cow. You see, you are interconnected. Some say Boko Haram, they don't like Western education. But that Western research made the gun that they are carrying to keep people. Yeah. They are advancing their own purpose. You see that they are connected. It's only blindness in man that does not see the interconnectivity of life. The whole earth is one. You are one with the tree, with the petrol, with the rock, with the mountain. So if you understand this, and this interconnectivity talks about what? Interdependency. Depending on one another. So the value, when we are dependent on one another, that means you depend on me. What you are depending on in me is what we call value. So when that value leaves me and comes to you, is what we put in monetary terms as what? Money. And I can create wealth. So now let me give you this example of this young man I met. He left. After he left his job, they just gave him small money, barely enough to do anything. But he said before he left that job, he said he knew a man. He asked one of his uncle. He's in a very big position in the government. And then he met one man that wanted to meet him. He's a contract. He wanted to do. He said if he can see this person, and then he told him that I can take you to this person. It's my uncle. We'll not meet. He used to come home. When he comes home, no, we'll not meet him there. We'll travel and go and meet him in Lagos, Abuja or Lagos. But he said you are going to pay me 7 million naira because he knew the money was going to make just to take somebody to go and meet somebody. He said he's going to pay him 7 million. I'll take. He said if he can meet this person, because he was processing his contract, and that was the last stop. He stops on that person's door. The person said you should not worry that you give him. This is a true life story. My wife knows the person is. Met him in the airport. He said he took the person to his uncle because he was working to. So they got the man got the business. He said the man eventually paid him 5 or 4 million. You see value. Can you see? You see there is no free lunch. This is business summit. There is no free. Some of the things you offer, sometimes things you offer for free, are some of the services that should have translated to your economic well-being. And then sometimes the way you think, by the time the man put him on flight, people will always want to cheat you. If you have not negotiated with that man, will he give you that money? may just give him like 200,000. Or maybe the time the man put him on flight, pay his air ticket. Don't worry, we'll go by flight. Maybe he has not entered flight before. We'll pay your flight ticket, put him in an hotel, we'll sleep. Those are the things they do. And you see some people, you see some very young ladies, they don't know how much they can make in life. Somebody give them small money, give them an iPhone, take them to one big hotel they have never stayed before. This is happening every time. He said, this is what you give me. Let me give you an example, another example. This one is myself here. It's a mindset. You have to break mindset. Some of us, what is holding you down is what? Your mindset. That's why Elisha broke that woman's mindset. He said she should go and get a big vessel. He went and bought the one only in her house. And he broke her mindset. Go and borrow from your neighbor. Your neighbor's vessel is your own vessel. That's why if you want to do business, also do business with your neighbor's what? Use your people's brain to do business. That's why people have a board. Somebody will start a business, you go and form a board. You want to use other people's brain to do the business. This is the idea behind the board. You just create a board. Oh, this one bring this idea. Oh, this one bring this mind. Before you know it, what are you doing? You are learning to do business with other people's what? Brain. So you go and borrow what? Some people I don't borrow. Like, how can I ask my neighbor for? Some people broke our mindset. Go and borrow. Some people say they can't borrow money. He said, go and borrow vessel. And Elisha broke our mindset. And some of us will need to break our mindset. Many years back, I met a man when I was in the bank. He was doing a contract in this school here, Futa. So he said, give me 200,000. If you give me, I'm using it for a contract, I'll make money from it. I'll give you just for like a week or something, I'm expecting, I'll give you 20, maybe 10% of it. Maybe 20. I said, no, I cannot collect it. You understand? I know. So I gave him the money. I didn't collect anything. He collected his contract, collected all his profit, put it in his pocket. He came the second time again. So, and I told my wife, he said, why? I said, no, I argued and I won the argument. I just won my way. I said, it's okay. That I know I collect this one money. I should help people. And so, the second time he came, okay. He said, don't worry. I gave him the money again. And he returned the money. He gave me like 20,000. That was like, talking about years back. 20,000 is like that time, it's like your 200,000 now. The value of that money then. Yes. So it's like giving me 200,000. He came the second time. He gave me the money. I didn't spend it too. I carried the money. I give it to somebody else. That mindset. And that will have introduced me to financing. Is that when I was in the bank? Is that what the bank was doing? But they have told us that don't do anything. If you do a conflict of interest, you see, capitalists, they always want to keep you small, because if you are not small, they can't use you. Don't obey them. They did the Basel, this is the banking law. You must not do and everything. They all kinds of capitalists. They tell don't do anything. They call it conflict of interest. But they have about 10 businesses. The man that is saying you should not do anything, he has 10 what? Businesses. They say you don't do anything, just stay on this salary. And so we ran with that mindset for so long. You can never be financial what? Independent. So you see the mind. So I said, you see value, right? So I say everything is what? Interdependency is what? Is value. That interdependence. I have something I can trade on. You even go to work, what are you? You are not trading your services. Your time. Your time between 8 hours. I'll give you these 8 hours of my time. Do what you want to do with it. That's why they'll give you this job. They'll give you another job. They can send you somewhere. Within that time, you offer what? Your services. I made a statement that God made the whole world and made it as raw material for man, right? Now man will engage the world and bring out something out. Even human beings, you can become, if you don't do something, you can become raw material. Yes. You can become raw material. You can turn into raw material. When I make you a sales rep for me now, what have I done? I've turned you to what? Raw material. That's it. So you can only build something out of something. Raw material. It's okay. Some other person turn you to raw material. You too turn some other people to raw material. By the time the money will end from there, use it to do something. Use it up to create channels. productive channels of that can translate to wealth again. This was after 10 years. Sometimes after about how many years? This story I gave you, it's not funny, you will be laughing at it now. But this same thing. Then when I was in marketing function in the bank, and I had a market segment that I brought into the bank, So a lot of times they're always looking for money. Some of they pay them millions of naira. Sometimes some people that earn money, they don't know how to utilize money. They're always broke. Someone that how much was my salary? Their salary is how many times bigger than my own. Small time their salary is they say banker, they feel you have all the money. Small time they say I should borrow them money. I should give them money that they'll give me. I used to give them. Okay, take. Someone say, you want to give me the money, I'll pay you something. I say, no, I don't collect anything. No. I'm not collecting anything like that. So you can see the mindset. And eventually, after I told my wife, discussed with my wife, eventually my wife said she wanted to do social business. And what was that business? Is what I've been running away for close to 15 years. A business financing. I said, okay, that's what you want to do. It's okay. I went and pulled all those people that have been asking me. I went and pulled them. I said, I'll go and talk to social person. Talk to social person. And within a short period of time, she was making a lot of money from them. Was there money in my environment? Everything you need, anything, all of them are in your environment. If I want you are going to another place to look for, it is where you have left. Are we together? So what did we say that when God made man, what did he do? He just threw him what? Into the world. How will he sleep? Who will sort it out? You will sort it out for yourself. So I would like to take one or two. This is a dialogue. We're here for a dialogue. We're here for. What have you had? I don't talk to. I don't like maybe. Those when you keep talking to people for the past 7 years, nothing is coming out. We want to have conversation. We want to have dialogue, and then see the result the next time we meet. Okay. What did you hear? You have a question. You have a comment. You are like that, so that I want us to provoke something inside. Sometimes you feel you are doing well, right? Well, but what you are saying, because you are looking at your environment, you think you are doing well, but you are not actually doing well. You know why? Let me tell us something now. You see, responsibility should push you. Not because, what did I define as well? Let me start. What did he define as wealth? What is another money for wealth? What? Alright. Again, can we say it again? Money that is beyond what? Is beyond your personal need and beyond your family need. Then you can now begin to talk about what? Wealth. But you are not yet. It's not wealth here when you are still, personal, right? This is like that. You are shuffling with your personal need, enough to meet your personal need and family need, and you have a little extra to keep somewhere because of the raining day or the day that is not raining. But we are talking about you build wealth because of a responsibility. Sometimes people are looking for money from so many places, right? Maybe you are greedy, you have appetite for money, but no. You see, recently I start talking to people about building money because of your what? From sense of what? Responsibility. You can call it responsibility wealth. Look at the whole chaos. Look at the whole thing. How many people that you can help? Does it give you concern? Me, thank God, 18 square meal in my house every day. Look at your uncle's children there, they can't go to school. Look at some serious medical condition. People are dying because they don't have money to treat themselves. I tell people, make money. Look for money beyond your personal life and beyond your family need from the sense of responsibility. There is so much joy if you help people do something for people. You see, I don't need money. Some people say, I don't need money. I'm okay. What am I looking for in life? That's a failed thinking. Somebody will come and meet you for heaven and say, I don't have to give you. You cannot help everybody, but there's your sphere. You are able to occupy your sphere. You are able to do things within what? Your sphere. I traveled to my village recently, like a week ago. Today is Saturday. Okay, this same time last week. See the level of poverty there. All of you go back to your village. And there were a lot of people who is trying to help this one, do this, do that. But you need to make the resources that you will help them. You see somebody is a philanthropy. Someone that is just struggling for your personal need. Abi, all you have is your personal need. You can't be a philanthropist. Someone need to do operation, maybe to take the person to India and come back. You may spend like 50 million. You have not, you can't eat a kilo of meat in 1 week. You must ration it for 2 weeks. Is it that person that wants to help somebody to go to India? Somebody was in my house yesterday. The person is here. Somebody called him and he had to go and take the person to hospital. And he told me that when he took the person, when he got there, he just felt this, that I must make money. When you take the person to hospital, they say, thank you for bringing the person. They say, thank you for bringing the person. Somebody too was telling us about a child, how somebody lost a child. Not a grown-up person. Was telling myself and my wife, it's a medical person in FMC. They were there, they needed money to FMC here. So the woman had to take the person from the hospital. He said, leave the person here. He said, the people that want to help in Okene side, they said they want to see the sick child. So he took the baby and was going there, and then the child died. This is someone that can be your governor tomorrow. One, you don't know the value, the power in one life. All of you that are seated there, you are just one life. And look at what has come out of your life. Maybe that person could have been the next person that will bring out one creative innovation that could change this, the face of this nation. That's it. To take the person to go and look for money, a lot of them, there's stories like that. And what I do recently, or sometimes I travel here and there, I call young people, I call them, and I talk to them. Because where you are, there is too much money where you are. Where do I see there's money? Where? Yes. Moses, I gave you example. Moses was in the wilderness. No river there, only rock. God said, go and bring the water from it. There's water inside the rock. Peter paid tax, no money in their pocket. Just like I say, no money in your pocket. Maybe you are a fisherman, go and fish. If you bring fish, you see money inside. There is money in your environment. That vocation that you are doing, there's money there. There's money there. You see that communication. You see, I say the whole world is one symphony of existence, and there is communication that is going on. The tree is having conversation with the sun. If the nation monetize what they give, whatever the sun gives you, you pay. You know how much the tree will have been paying, right? And so there's all those conversations that translate to what? To money. Now you want to watch football, and I can make you watch that ball, right? Nigeria is playing match on Sunday. Now I can make you watch it, right? I make you to watch it, and you pay me money. You see all this viewing center, right? All the DSTV, they buy the right Premiership. A lot of people want to watch Premier League. I'll make you to watch your Premier League, right? And then you give them money. Is it not communication? All right, can I hear us? I want somebody to tell us, what was the last thing I said? The need why you must make money. Out of what? Yes, be responsible. Be responsible. Oh, you are earning this more money. At least I see 1 million every month. I see 2 million every month. And you want to be satisfied and sit down there. When there is room for what? More. For more. Then please, I want to hit this point home very well. You see, God has no pleasure. He has no desire for people that are not productive. Even God himself. You know, God understands. Look at that parable that he gave them. The parable of the talent. What did they do with the talent? The one he gave the 10 talent. How many talent did he bring back? How many? Tell me. He doubled it, right?
Yes.
The one he gave 2, what did he do?
Doubled it.
What is double? Double is multiplication. There is a law in nature. There is a law in creation. It is the law of what? Multiplication. He said, be fruitful.
And multiply.
That fruitfulness, there should be a kind of fruitfulness, right? When you bring one every 3 years. Is that what he said? This fruit should be what? He qualified it as multiplication. You see, that parable that he gave, all the ones that were fruitful, they multiplied it. And that's why they write to say, grace and peace be what?
Multiplied.
Multiply. The whole money you make this year, Okay, this year now maybe you are making, on the average, I'm making 150,000. How much should you make next year? Huh? Oh, if you had 20,000, you go and share testimony. There is no, that hunger is not there. That quest is not there to push yourself. Sometimes it can be a lot of hard work. I was reading the account of Elon Musk. He said it was not too long ago when he was doing rocket to the moon, to the Mars.
Yes.
He said he did about 3 attempts and it failed. The last one, if he failed, he will crash. So many times he said he sleeps in the workshop. He said one time his mind wanted to tear. The last one, when they were going to do the last one, he said whether he will succeed or he will go down permanently. He said his mind, he said nobody should go through that kind of experience. Then his brain wanted to burst.
Come on.
It's a lot of hard work. Yes. Whether you want to work from your brain, not physical hard work, from the brain. And then he did that, he shot that rocket and he succeeded. So responsibility should make you to what? Some of you now, your parents sponsor you to school, your younger ones are there. There is no sense of responsibility. If your father trained you, you should train your other ones. If you have siblings that are a bit struggling, they are not doing well, do well so that you can help them. One or two friends, very nice guys, you have some very good friends around you, and they are not doing well. So this it should be born out of responsibility. The person that did a car because he wanted to drive car. Huh?
Yeah.
Because he wanted to drive car. They bring solution that can help humanity. Most of these were not even looking for money. We went looking for solution. A case in hand, this one that all of us know here now. These guys that did Money Point, Tosin and the other guy, that he was working in InterSwitch. He had money, but they wanted to create a solution. You see, many times people were queuing inside bank. To even enter the bank is a problem. You use POS, they debit you 5,000 naira. Before you can enter the bank, it's more than 5,000 naira. They softened and everything, and then they came up with a creative solution. And then some of you, thank God, they are now. I have made my first 1 billion, 2 billion. But if you see the way these guys are pushing, see this man that did the floater wave. Now you see them, they'll go to India. They have to go and take the market in India. They are connecting with some Indian, tech people and everything. But we just sit down here with mediocrity, and that's why I make this statement again and again that mediocrity is an insult to what? It's an insult to
God,
to the genius of God, not God in heaven, to the genius of God in you. It's an insult to your own mind, because your mind is the creative ability that God gives you. So there is too much wealth where you are in your what? Environment. Okay, we can't do everything in one conversation. All right, go ahead and talk.
Yeah. Good afternoon once again. My name is Solomon O'Sullivan. Thank you, sir, for what you have been saying so far. I believe that this meeting is meant to shift our mindset to a new place. And I'll just say a little story. Maybe a few of us can learn from it. I have somebody in this gathering who called me just immediately when lockdown was rounding off and said there is an opportunity. The money is small because my agricultural whatever wasn't doing fine, but there is an opportunity I'm going to get from the job. So I took it. And when that job was going to end, my boss has a mentor who I picked up at the airport. And then I was getting a new office for my agri business and everything. I said, can I call you up later? He said, yeah, no problem. So that very Friday, we went for tongues. We were in the vigil. He was calling me from the hotel. He wanted to have time with me, but my phone was on silence. And so I was unreachable. So the Saturday, I called my boss. Oh, I saw several of your calls. I said, yeah, it was his boss that wanted to speak with me. And so the conversation ended that he linked me up with a friend of his in Lagos, just by recommendation, just like the other job. And so when I got to meet this man, it was TYRANNUS. I told you that he said I wanted to get somewhere in Ikeja. So we spoke, and he was like, okay, that thing you want to do, don't worry, I'm going to do for you for free. It was 1.2 million. And so while we were waiting for Uber downstairs, and I told him, I'm good with marketing. It's a couple. They have two businesses. The upper office is there, an agency, and they have a restaurant downstairs. And he said, oh yeah, I need somebody that you can come around. And so I came around, and I brought my genius together, and the business was climbing. We were on Jumia making sales. I brought somebody up to do app for them, and everything was climbing. And so one day I went for a meeting just at my way back. As I was coming back, like Pastor is saying, everything is in us, the mind. As much as, okay, let me say the story, then I'll say the lessons in it. So I wanted to pick a BRT bus from Omole Phase 1 and 2 area. So I was walking towards where the BRT bus is. And then I saw VIO, the FRSC guys, doing some unjust manipulations. It's a slope, it's a long distance, it's a very tight road. So I was seeing everything happen. And so I told the FRSC guy that why was he recording half of the story, making it look like the truck driver was at fault, because they actually punctured, it's a brand new truck, and they punctured the front part with their towing vehicle. So the guy simply looked at me and I don't know what he was thinking of. So I continued strolling to get the BRT. And then these guys were already forming traffic, and so they had to let them go. So by the time I got to where I was where they parked. And I just spoke with them that I know they were not at fault. We know the Nigerian, factor. And so I told them if they needed somebody to speak for them in the office because of the damage, that I would be willing to help them out. I don't know them. So we exchanged contacts. I left, they left. And the next time they were going to call, they told me that their Oga would like to see me. Oh, I said, that means you guys are really in trouble. I said, no, that they want to give me business opportunity. I wasn't looking for a business. And so it happened that these guys are Igbo guys. They work with a Chinese firm that sells tire to all the Chinese businesses in Nigeria and other businesses. And so now I'm in a place I was volunteering. I wasn't on job, or I wasn't on salary. And I needed to meet these Chinese people. But I understand negotiation as a marketer. Going to them will undermine my potentials. So I have to invite them over. But this is the situation. I couldn't invite them to an office, a boardroom that I do not control. I'm not even a paid staff. I'm just volunteering. So I told the owner of the business, I said, I'm going to have a meeting. Right now, I'm not going to tell you what the meeting is all about. But after the meeting, I'll tell you what the meeting is all about. Now, before this stage, my new boss had been telling me of a particular man who is very wealthy. An able man who does tire business. He has never traveled abroad. And my boss, happened to be an American citizen. He's been in the US for over close to 30 years. He does a lot of these things for people. So one of the managers, that all his friends, this man came and said, that all his friends travels all over the world. But he out of shame, he couldn't ask them, who does the visas for you? So he had to confide in one of his managers. So my boss told me that when he told him, we'll need one of your statement of accounts to push the visas through. He said, by the time the man brought the statement of account, the billions in it was too much. And he had to tell him, sir, don't you have something smaller that we can use? So the smallest he could get was 1.2 billion. He was that rich. And he never stepped out of Nigeria. So now, the Chinese people came. So I hosted them, took them to the restaurant, used that opportunity to introduce them to the restaurant and the products that we serve there. So the man saw us. And so after the meeting, then I told him what the meeting was all about. The moment he heard tire, he said, I have to call for another meeting. Now, I told them, okay, we would have to come for a different meeting again. Because I used the conference room in the first meeting. The man said, wow, you should have told me. I would have opened my office for everything. Then in fact, you would have sat on my chair, because we're talking of money here. And now we have a space next to us that the guy who took it wasn't using it. He said we could use that as business was already churning out. We can use that as a showroom. We can do this, we can do that. And then he said later we can bring this man on board, the billionaire guy.
So you have to fast forward your story.
So now the point is, I was in the middle of an opportunity. I wasn't asking for it, but it came. But I couldn't manage it. That's the lesson I want us to learn here. Either to the right or to the left. I didn't get anything. Everything just fizzled away. So this meeting, I just want to emphasize it again that maybe we'll have a compendium, sir. Because a lot of us are here. Some of us are getting it right. Some of us are just trying to learn. Maybe we would look into something, maybe a structure, so that we can harness this knowledge that is being shared. That's what I want to say.
All right, can we appreciate Solomon Sullivan? And I want our input to be patterned this way, so that tell us the key lesson inside, while you tell us the surrounding story, so that we can make it snappy. Everybody here, we are here to have a dialogue, right? We are here to have a dialogue between where we are and where we must what? Be. A dialogue between where we are and where we must be. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Pastor. So far, I think I'm fed already, even though we still have some way to go. Thank you very much. I think one of the very important lessons I've learned this afternoon, which is key to me, I think you were speaking to me directly, is quit the brain teaser.
Yeah.
I think that is one place where a lot of us have been, irrespective of the businesses that I already have going on and the fact that I can still make money and feed my family. There is this thing we call planning, and that is one of the stage that a lot of us have been, and our businesses are not making any headway. So what are you doing now? I'm still planning. Like Pastor said, for 10 years you've been planning that business. It's on paper, you have all the documents, and it's still not working. Sir, I have a folder on my laptop that is full of ideas, of things that even come to me in the place of prayer. But you're still at that planning stage. You want to get it perfect before you start. That is a problem. And thank you very much for all that you have shared this morning. I think I'm really getting a hand on it. God bless you, sir.
Thank you. So now, the next time, what's your name? Elisha. Now, I made a statement then that it is only what is started that can be grown. You can only grow what you have started. Don't despise anything. Just start earning, right? Because you can grow that earning. So that's where it starts from. You want to settle in manufacturing industry. You don't have 20 million to bring that machine that want to manufacture, right? It's not manufacturing you want to do. Clothes, go into textile and be on that field. These are very spiritual principles. The people Jesus asked to pray, who were the ones he asked to pray that God sent laborer? There were people that were laborers already. He said the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are what? I few. He said, pray you that the Father will send laborers into his harvest field. If you go and pray and you are not a laborer, you are going against God. You are already a laborer, you are in the field, but you discover that I need more you are calling for reinforcement. Can a military man call for reinforcement if he's not in the battlefield? You see the principle in life. You see there's a connection between the spiritual and the natural. I say everything is connected together. And at the heart of that connection is is man. Right? So the things we have said, there's no point going over them, but please, so some of those ones, no matter how it looks like, convert them to to money. So you start making money and then grow that It's only what you do that can grow. All right, so who else? Please tell us your name as you tell us your full names.
Okay, my name is Elizabeth Ekasumi. So thank you very much. I've been able to, let me say I've experienced the mind shift, because personally, I'm someone that sometimes I just sit and tell myself that, like I have a colony of business, times I wake up with ideas, and my major issue has always been getting to translate these ideas into, let me say, just translate it into physical, make it a reality. And I want to say that most time I discover that maybe when those ideas comes, I am always fearful in executing all these ideas. And even currently, despite the fact that I'm into so many things, I currently started working with an NGO, and I saw that, okay, the person I'm working with currently is not in the country, is outside the country. And whenever I present ideas to him, there's a way he buys into this idea, and I feel, okay, then I can actually do more than this. But my major challenge, okay, let me just put this way, the reason why I'm talking right now is because I'm always at the junction of, can I really translate this into a reality? Because I see that there is so much that I can actually do. There's so much I can actually do. And also coming from the point whereby you talked about responsibility, and also talking about resources and all, I would want you to expose on this, because this is the stage I am. And again, I'm seeing that, okay, is it connectivity, get to connect with people, but in a way you're in an environment whereby you don't really find, I won't say I don't have the right set of people, but you're not being able to see and discover the right set of people that can help you come out of the, should I use the word obscurity, or just the darkness you could have been in those kind of areas. Thank you, sir.
All right. Can we appreciate her? Okay. Now, the one you mentioned about the last point now, I will refer you to what I say, that the interconnectivity of life, that the whole earth is one symphony of existence, one symphony of life, that everything is one, because all things are connected together. And I gave an example that even enemies are connected together in a manner they don't know they are connected together, right? You still remember that the Fulani person that is kidnapping, that we may like or not like, when you want to do your wedding, it is cow you want to go and use, right? The one that says Boko Haram, education is a haram, and most of the things you use are products of education. Now it's now left for you to see how you connect. All human beings are connected together. You have to believe it. You know, sometimes, I talk about breaking your mindset. If I don't relate with you in this area, I can relate with you in another area. So, but when you now begin to streamline yourself to maybe this person is not greeting you, you have turned to enemy, you've shut that one down, you shut this one down. Always leave the door open. That's it. All relationship, because you know that all of us are connected somehow. So you leave the door open, because you don't know. In the day, it might just be, it can come in any form, in any fashion. Don't say I don't have people, because some of us, our mindset is wrong. A lot of you here, maybe you don't even relate, you don't have any friends apart from your church. Your church people, they consume 90% of your time. You are not able to divide your life well. You have your productive life. You have your productive life, you have your social life, you have some friends you have. Maybe you want just to laugh, play, gist. Those ones are those ones there. That one should not engage more than 10% of your time. But some of us is the opposite way around. 70% of your time you spend there. Then there are some more people, they are very easy productive relationship. When you meet, when you talk together, when you do things, you relate together, this relationship is productive. But this one, you just want to, relax your mind, you just want to gist. So you divide your relationship like that. And then be open to it, almost everybody. You see where and how all of us connect together, because you never can tell. All this one you just say, okay, you have your friends, you have one or two persons you connect to, but keep the door open. July this year, last year, I was in Abuja with my wife. I say we're all connected, right? And this is how our destinies can be activated by that connection. You see that connection, you are connected to everyone. Keep the connection open. One trigger will just activate a dimension of destiny for you. We're in Abuja in July, and when this was small holiday there. So, but there is this young man who was always around. He will come, take us here. He doesn't have a car, he was driving. He will take us here, take us there, we borrow somebody's car, but he was always around. And then I asked him. I know he drives very well. And I asked him that you can have a company. Since you drive very well, you're on the street of Abuja, there's too much money in this Abuja. He said you can have a company. Go and form a company. Now if you form a company now you can drive now. I said okay, form a company where you can manage fleet of vehicles. He doesn't have a vehicle. I say how our destiny, I say well, I can get people that can give you 5 vehicles. Can you manage them? Because then now I called a friend that I said I know before he left the company he had 2 vehicles. Was in for the same putting in all those Uber businesses. So I said okay, I'll talk to him. If that one does not give me, I know a lot of people I can talk to, but they can give you 5. Can you manage them? He said, how do you? He said there's something on his app you can use it to track and everything. So I think a few months later I got someone to give him a car. Now I want to answer your first question you asked now from here. I say do something, not ideas. You want people to come and sponsor the idea on paper, right? Idea, and they are not coming. Sponsors are not coming. Well, you see, people are attracted to what is succeeding already. You are already doing it. The money may be small. You are earning 5,000 naira, but because these people have acumen. This guy, what this person is doing. You may not be the one that will tell them they want to put money. They say this person you are doing. With more resources you can do more. And then because I told us that what is a need here, there are a lot of people waiting. That is what they are looking for to meet. And then I know somebody that's always talking to me, wants to come and invest money in Nigeria. Okay, what about logistic business? I know somebody is trustworthy. You can put some money there. Like that. So you can give him 5 vehicles to manage. And this is the money he will be paying you every time. He will manage, he will get driver. Look at it. This same person now, so he has formed his own company. He will have the company. He will get drivers. We drive the vehicle, and then he will now get his own part commission out of it. You see how things are connected together. So now, because he was now doing it, and I told him that we'll start you with that one vehicle that I got for you. Let me see how you manage it. Somebody else saw it, and now would not put them in a group, in a logistic group like that. So he saw that this guy is so committed to this thing, like that. He said he wants to give him a vehicle. Before you know, he can have a fleet of 50 cars he's managing, because he can drive. You will be driving this one. Then connect people to you to know how to drive and manage. So there's money everywhere. So you see, I say 2 things now. How we all what? We connect. I don't throw any relationship off. Even if you say you are an avouched enemy, I leave the window open. Why should I fight you? Because I know that life is connected. The person that made the bread, if you see the person say, may not greet you, but you are eating his bread. Sometimes human blindness and arrogance that is pushing all the things that we are doing. There are some people that if you are not born again, if you don't tie your hair, tie everywhere, they will not relate with you. Right? But the atheist that does not believe in God, that has done a handset, they are holding it as if it's their life. But that handset was made by an atheist. You are using his product, but you don't want to have a relationship with him. So when it comes to earth, there is no differentiation. If we come to the kingdom of God, we can do differentiation. But when it comes to the earth, everybody wants a good restaurant. Who is the one behind that restaurant? Who is the owner of this restaurant? I want to know. What does he believe? Are you interested in tribalism? Is it Igbo? Is it Hausa? You just want a good food. You want a vehicle, you want a good vehicle. This is what governs life. And so we are what? Connected what? Together. You see somebody, you kidnap him now, take him inside the bush now. Maybe it's the one that supplied the raw material for the gun that you are holding. So do something. It is what you do that can what? Grow. It is what you now do that people can see that they want to what? Put funds inside. Put money inside. And then you build, that's why you are building goodwill. It's one of the highest paying capital. You build a goodwill. Some of us, they put things in our hands, story are starting. You just do it anyhow. Or no. You build what? Goodwill. I have people I relate with. I give them advice, talk to them. They want to do something, they'll call me. They be this like that, like do like that. Number of them are not in the country. And one sent me a message recently. He said, thank you for your accountability, your transparency, and your integrity. Then he now asked me a question I will not say. And I showed it to my wife. So if I want $100,000 tomorrow, I can get it. But because one has built something, there are things we have done together in the course of 2 years. And he saw the result. And I gave him a very detailed report. And he saw it. So that's how it works. So now the person I gave example in Abuja, was he not driving?
Yes.
And we got him a vehicle, right? And I want to get him fleet of vehicles. Now the people and even not the people that want to give the vehicle, now, I even on my neck. I even on his neck. Okay, you will be the one that will look for the vehicle, you just buy it. You get the driver and put it on the vehicle. You calculate the earning, what will earn in a year, and how much you give the differential that it will not be kept with the company. So if he gets like 1.5 million annually from a vehicle, and he gives them like 1 million, you keep like 500,000. If he gets 10 cars, how many is that? 5 million. That one is residual income. If he earns 5 million, can he not pay his rent? Can he not pay his accommodation? And then he'll be doing other things. He'll monitor them on his app. I see there's wealth everywhere. Just that you are not thinking it through. And then that sense of responsibility is not there because you have one car. I'm living in my own house. People are just small. It's not you see the need that is calling, You cannot hear the shout, the need, the tears, the cry that is crying for us. A lot of people to empower. If you have more money, you can empower more people in their own line of business. You can look at what Tony Elumelu is doing. Not because he has money. All over Africa, there's this thing he does that empower, gives them money. And now, so you see, he's raising up entrepreneurs who will go, one person will go and do well, sort out this issue of his family. He's not in this meeting, I'll tell you, there's one cardinal solution to this country. All this corruption that is plaguing us, corruption is a small boy. When entrepreneurs begin to break out, there are some things you do that is immune to the society. It's even immune to economy. There are business lines that you also do that is immune to, all those fluctuations, things are bad. There are some businesses that have immunity. So if you want to even do business, which class of business you like to? Okay, if I'm doing this kind of business, how can I enter this kind of business? They are immune. People always build house whether the economy is good or not. Am I correct? When you say there's economic shortfall, that's when banks are making more money. That's the financial services. So there are some things in the society that is not subject to economy. You say Nigerian economy is bad, it's not part of them. It doesn't affect them. So it depends on where you want to play. When the sector you want to play. When you know all the sector, and then even you are playing in another sector, how do I migrate to this sector? How do I move in? You see some people have made so money from oil, after some time they say they want to go and hold bank, own a bank. Sometimes they want to go and own something like that. Some you see them, they are into venture capitals. They know that tech, all these small people that start small now, tech now, tomorrow now they'll be multi-billionaires. They want to go into venture capital. They want to look at your ideas. They want to see what you can do. You can transform it. They're not going to give you grants. Some people are getting grants as much as 10 billion. But nobody will give you grant for what is on paper. Come and demonstrate it. Money Point got a grant that is close more than 8 billion naira. Not now, 2018. They were not even Money Point that time. $5.5 million. Because of what they design. They'll test it. So do something. It is when you are doing something small, then people can now say, let's take it what? High. But the thing is that I say stop this brain what? Stop the brain what? Teaser. You see all this plan, proposal, business plan, like our brother was saying. All these are brain teasers. You understand? And what? Something. You see that 10,000? I met a young man. When I went home, I gathered some young men together. But there's this guy that's always calling for money. Always money. Everybody I spoke to within the outside, so I said I want to talk to him. To sit down. Young man. Okay, I had missed so many opportunities, he said it with his mouth. I said it's not too late to always start. If you make up your mind to start, call me. And I said I give him 2 weeks to go and think through. You want to engage your brain. So, and now this other one told us his story. He was a graduate, he did master, went to ABU. Some of us, that's the dignity of labor again. You want high sounding what? You want the high sounding names. I'm the director of so they are paying you 60,000 naira. I'm the state coordinator, state director of so and his name. I'm the project manager. Project what? Manager. You know, resources is power. When the person that has power come, you sit on the floor. When God say go and have dominion, as far as this earth is concerned, it's dominion by productivity, not by speaking in tongues. As we are doing this meeting now, somebody come and say, I want to use this meeting now. This one now, they will chase all of us out. How much did we pay? I need it now. They say, sorry. You say, you cannot serve God and what? Mammon. Satan, it's not Satan. No. Money is the god of this world. Satan hides inside money for him to have influence. But you see, you can't serve God and what? Money has the same influence with people that God has. You remember one governor said stomach what? Infrastructure. Why do you think the politicians have so much power? Politicians. It's money. People need money. People are suffering. Say selling vote, selling vote. Can you sell vote to a person like me? Apart from the even issue of integrity, even those that don't even have integrity, they are too well to do. How much do you want to give them? Can you see how these things coordinate together? So this young man did masters. I said, what does he do? Somebody told me he does POS business. And I called him. Sit down. You sit down. You sit down. I want to talk to this particular person. So after I talked, got a long story short, he now told us his own business. I do POS business. He looked at me, I'm a graduate. After I went to Ahmad Bello University, then I did his master there. I can't remember. Either master or just graduate. He said I was working in a hotel. And what they were paying me was, after a while, because the money was small. He said he now left that hotel business. Hotel, maybe waiter or something. He now said he joined one man for 1 year. 1 day. Did I say 1 day? He said the man does POS business. He is a graduate. He said he joined him for 1 year. I was doing that POS. He said after 1 year, so the man gave him some money with whatever he could put together. He started his own POS business. He now said that every day he makes like 7,000 naira, whether he works or not, because of the terminal that he has given out. If he opened his phone there and they were showing us this one I traveled to. He showed us. He said some days 16,000. He said whether it's in the toilet, that's what he told me. He makes money. Apart from what he does, or maybe the shop, the thing they sell, he said they use terminal. He said was an agent also to Money Point or stuff like that. Now, if you make 7,000 every day times 30 days, how much is that? The project manager is earning 60,000. Out of that 60,000, 20,000 is transport to go to work and come back. How much is left? 40,000. He said that is small chaos. He stays there, he's gisting and laughing with them, he's making money. Then he now told me something. His boss, where he learned from, he said he makes 40,000 every day. Every single day, he makes 40,000. Then he said, and then he told me that he recently married an Oyibo girl. He brought the girl here. Some people go there and marry Oyibo girl so that they can go there. You see, resources, money. He said, from here, energy. I said, money governs this world. Even America, there's a wealth we have. America will listen to it. They are not listening to Nigeria because they don't have any money. All these Arab people, when they cough now, Saudi, it's because of money. That is plain truth. So he now says his boss make 40,000 minimum, 40, 50 every day. This is the dignity of labor. Like I say, if you want to kill something, give it a name and you kill it, right? Give it a name and you kill it. And I told him, don't say you are a POS operator. You do a lot of things. Create a name first. That's what the white man does. You create a name that is a very big portfolio. Then inside it, this is one aspect that you do. Now that you do that POS business, I didn't know, he says he's also a sales agent. I say, create a name and give it, because one of the ways that people were not farming those days, they told us that the psychological effect of being called a farmer. Nobody wants to farm. You bring a young man who wants to marry your daughter, I say he's a farmer. Your father will chase the person. You know, now we're learning, now we're changing the name, right? Or somebody is a tailor. Your daughter that is a graduate, you say he made first class. Someone wants to marry, says he's a tailor. I want to marry a tailor. You understand? like that. You've given prayer point to your mother now. You say maybe the witches and wizards are troubling they've turned the daughter's head. You give it what? I told him no, you don't say you're a POS operator. I told him if you have something more now to do now, won't you do it? He said he will do it. Now he now has his staff now. So you are now creating space for yourself now to do other things. I say create a name for that business and then things will now grow. So that's how it works. This is practical, this is hands-on. Go and earn what? Something. Starting from where? Your environment. Everything a tree needs to grow is, where is it? It meets the tree where the tree is. The sun will travel 150 million kilometers to meet that tree. All of the soil, nutrient, the air, the oxygen, everything comes in. That thing you are doing, think that there's nothing inside. The manner you do it, you see that there's something inside. People make hair now, and some other people make hair. They can't make ends meet. But some people make hair, they've created wealth out of it. All right, thank you. Any other person? We have 30 more minutes to go, so.
Thank you very much, sir, for this powerful session. I am really, really grateful I'm here. So,
tell us your name and then.
My name is Ibel, and one thing that stuck out to me that really resonated with me is where you talked about the woman who the prophet opened her eyes and told her to borrow from her neighbor. So late last year, I work here, but I had another job. Just someone that came randomly. I was like, he needs about 10 people to edit videos for him, and their salary would be like 150 to 250 a month. And that was like a lot more than what I was earning for I do other businesses, but my major stable income. And the night before, my system had just crashed, that packed up. I was having some other issues, and I started thinking, how would I get a new system to buy the job? He needed to get people on hand within the week. And I started sharing this job opportunity out to other people, and he started hiring them, giving them contracts with payment. And I was sitting there looking. I feel a lot of us have this inclination that we should not go out to outsource funds. But I sat down and talked it, and I thank God for some of the friends I have. And the idea just came, why don't you meet somebody, get money, enough to get a system and get everything you need to do that job well, then just strike a deal. Because I'm into marketing, strike a deal. I've done it for companies, but I've not done it for my personal self. And that's one thing I feel we should do more. Since we apply for people and get results, apply it to your personal self. So I just drafted a document and I put okay. And I took it as investment. You are investing in my personal self. I turned myself to a business. Invest in me. This is the number of months the tenure will go. This is the amount you will get. This is the amount of time you give for me to implement first. And what I put there was the first month salary. In the next 30 days, you will get the first payment. So the first month will go, then the second month will start the payment. And so I drafted a document and I started meeting people. It got to a point where at first I was kind of shy. I'm like, I will let this one, I need this amount. Just like that. It got to a point, by the end of the week, it got to a point I was just like, do you have this money? If you have it, give me. I will give you this money back. And finally, I was able to get the laptop. I was able to get more money. And the interconnectivity, like you said, I got the laptop with the idea I was just using it for that job. The amount of things I was able to make far surpassed anything I would have thought because I had the right gadgets to do what I wanted to do. So I'm not doing that job 24 hours a day. By the time I did that one, other opportunities opened up. I was able to do them. And before the end of that month, I had made enough to sort some things out. And that's just one thing that resonated with me, that I'm like, okay, we are surrounded by so many things we can do. Once you can think about it, I would say the idea was God inspired, but it came from the mind. And once you can think about it and you see, okay, I had the job, I had some things I was doing before. I was doing something, so I could say, if everything crashed, let's say nothing works at all, I say, the last thing is that I would just have to sort it out like this. And I was able to do some things. That's it.
And we appreciate it. It's very practical and hands-on. All right, can we talk so that we have 30 minutes? And also have a dialogue.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for your session. And I feel that my name is Babalola. And one thing that resonated with me was the fact that, or what I could draw from your session, was that we should be fast to act, and that we should just do, the quote is, do you the word you adjust. So I got that from what you said. I would also link it to my personal life as an entrepreneur and how I have grown in business so far. Again, the word being connected to each other is such a strong statement to make, because for a fact we experience it every day of our lives. I remember 2021, sometimes around July, I had an exam, or I had a test to write in school, and when I got to the venue, I dropped my bag somewhere, and to cut the long story short, someone carried the bag, and my phone was inside alongside several other phones of my friends. That led to a personal loss, because then I was really into crypto, and all my wallet and coins I had stacked up were on that phone, and I could not retrieve them. So that was like a very big setback I had, but it pushed me to want to do other things. Still that same 2021, I was able to set up my first physical business, which has grown into something very big today. By the grace of God, I started 2021, 2023 January. It was a food business. We started from a food stand. 2023 January, we moved into a proper restaurant, and we've been able to open about 2 other branches of the same restaurant in several places. So most of the times when I think back and I would reason that, what if this had not happened to me that year? Would I have been able to come up with this idea? So I feel that the world is really connected, and you mentioning that today really gave me this, it really stuck. So yeah, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Can we appreciate him? All right, so there's somebody here. Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead. It's after there's somebody here too.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fumi Broderick. All right, I'm a pastor's wife, so we have like full-time ministry. Then I happen to have some streams of income for myself, like I'm a baker. Then apart from that, I do a remote job. Then I do culinary classes for children. But along the line, that was late last year, I got more business ideas. So I was looking at it that, okay, how can I implement this with ministry and all of that? Looking at the fact that I know you're a pastor, and I understand the fact that probably you have other businesses you are doing. So I would like to, maybe if you can just explain how you're able to manage both of them, like business and ministry together.
Okay. Can we appreciate that? You see, that word again, to break the mindset. We grew up with the mind that ministry is a shutdown. You are serving God, you will not do any other thing again. If you do any other thing, you are not a ministry. You know those kind of mind setting. Now, do you know what we call business? It's a name that we have given to something that God gave us. What is business? Business is the exchange of value. How did I put it? Exchange of value. Then the exchange of value. Then it is now in the context of money. Because look at it this way now. God created us to interact with our environment. You will drop in a seed in the soil. That tubers of yam, when you eat it, you will cut the head, you put it in the soil. Then you drop it there, you will now begin to you start watering it, and it will start growing. So when it grows, it will become a full yam. You will now go back there and then harvest. You dropped in a value, and the earth will turn back something back to you. Can you see that communication? Can you see that? That's why I say the interconnective, that communication. Like that. So now, even if you are calling to ministry, you want to send your child to school, they will ask you for money. They'll say, thank you, Pastor, for bringing your child to school. You know, they'll ask you for money, pay your money. If you can't pay, they'll throw your child out. You are the one that God called. God did not call that child. So that child should not suffer. You should pay the child's school fee. You know, Paul read that if anyone will not take care, you know, they were doing it in Corinthian church. If anyone does not take care of what? Provide for his family, it's worse than what? You know, you have an influence. That you are worse than an unbeliever. Unbeliever is not the worst case. A believer that is not responsible is in a much more a more severe place than the unbeliever, because you know you have so much light and you are turning your back on light. That's it. Nothing stops you. Ministry, you have an assignment to do. You can do some other thing that may not interface with your time to do that something. It's just for you to wisdom to merge it together. But you have grew up in a culture that tells you that ministry don't do any of that. Even some churches tell that don't do any of that. And they'll pay you 30,000 naira. Their congregation has grown everywhere. Their children are living very big. When their child want to marry, they'll die the child 200 million naira. Every month they pay you 200,000. And yet you should not talk against the anointed and everything. You know, I told you they're capitalists. If they want to tie you down, they'll tell you don't do any, they will keep you small. Don't do any other work. You are depending on that salary. They will come and threaten you. You will do everything to stay there. They don't want you to live in a very large place. And the same thing, men too have imported that system into ministry. They don't want you to do anything. Stay there, attend to people, do visitation and everything. When you want your child is sick now, you don't see any of them. If you call themselves, they are nowhere to be found. They will abandon you. He said the scripture is able to make us wise unto what? Salvation. I'm into ministry. I encourage my wife to do a lot of things. Sometimes we'll pull ideas together. She wants to do this. I say, okay, this one. I say that you can do this one like that. And it does not interfere with a lot of things we're doing. It's being productive. Right? It's being productive. I don't have time to go into scripture. I'll tell you why you are looking at Jesus Christ. You are looking at Peter and Paul. I will explain, okay, let's sit down, but let me just explain this basic one so that I don't go our time. You look at some things in scripture, you're going to go capital. You don't understand what God was doing. It's why I explained to you that why Jesus had to tell Peter, miracle, right? You cannot pay taxation for miracle. Is that not what I said earlier? When it was time to pay tax, what is taxation? Tax is the product of your labor. So he told Peter to go and fish, which was Peter's vocation. When you go and fish, you see money, you go and use it. From your vocation, you pay tax. Jesus can put his hand in his pocket and give them, and they will not disturb him. He didn't do that one. When he wanted to feed the 5,000, can you not? They gave them manna from heaven. Could he not have done it? He said, who has fish and what? And bread. And then they multiplied it. Productivity. To meet human need. When they got to ask of the apostle, the early church, did they use miracle to feed themselves? Is it miracle they use? They don't use miracle. Also, I'm looking for miracle money or miracle breakthrough. It's productivity. Money is a servant to productivity, to value. Let me use a servant to value. They all the hard land, they sold it and they made distribution to everyone. With the power of God that broke forth in that place, why didn't everything just start appearing there? They sold land and then they made distribution to everybody. And Paul writes that his hand ministered to what? The one that wrote the book of the New Testament to us. The New Testament we are reading, the one that wrote it. He said, these hands minister to what? To my need. He said, he that, how did he put in Ephesians? He said, he that steal should steal no more. Let him go and walk. That you can even have something to give people that are in need. You see, we are talking about responsibility wealth. Responsibility is pushing you to be wealthy. You have to give to him that has need. Say, let him go and walk. Ephesians. Let me call out that scripture. That should be Ephesians 5. Is it 20 now? Ephesians 4:28. Let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands the things which is good, that he may have to give to him that what? That needs. Is it what? You have not even eaten, you are going to give another person. It doesn't happen like that. You give to the one that has what? Need. So that's how it works. So please, let's do something. Right? You converting your house, you have a house, you convert it to creche. You are always in the house. Bring your babies, let me nurture them. You pay me so amount. When you come back this time, a lot of things we can always do. There's so much in our environment. There's so much. In your environment, there's so much. What needs to come alive is that thing inside to be activated. The eagle that will not fly, take it into the mid-air and leave it alone. It will fly. Something has not hit us. When it hits us, our this thing will open. Please, let me give it to
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ratilda, and I want to appreciate the opportunity you've given to us. And you made mention of something that really resonates with me, which is connectivity. And it's really sinking. Now I have a question. I've been into business for 2 years now, close to 2 years, and we are trying to scale. I'm finding a balance. I'm trying to scale the business. I'm finding a balance. I'm looking for a balance.
Okay. All right. You see, take your opportunity when it what comes. The white man said opportunity comes but once. It may not be exactly all true, but for sometimes can actually be true. But just look at the lesson in that kind. That when they give you an adage is to communicate something to our mind. Now, when you are growing a business and it has taken on the growth trajectory, don't break that trajectory. Sometimes our mind is a problem we have. If it's genuinely growing, you can always keep growing it. Now, you are doing a bit, if somebody has come, even if you are not going to take everything it's going to bring, you know the kind of the model you run, you can take something and then continue to build it a little bit more, and then it will continue to grow. Then for like opportunity missed, these are learning points in businesses. Now, know that the same way the opportunity comes that time, it will always come again. But you too must play your own part. And that's what I did. There's a time I spoke in Abuja last year or 2 years ago in a business seminar like this. Our businesses in turbulent times. It's on a YouTube. You can go and listen to that message. And I spoke about voice library. What is voice library? You rush to library to go and read books, right? Every time you want to go and read book in the library, read. Sometimes we don't even like reading now. Every human being you meet is a library. That's just what I'm saying. I just coined that word. Engage people in conversation. It's the same thing as going to a library to sit down and read. So sometimes instead of you don't even want to talk. Somebody says it's me, I don't like. Engage them. Ask people, how do they make money? Engage you. What do you do? How do you make money? It is from there to, that's what we call knowledge bank. That thing will generate your own, it will activate your own idea, it will activate your own thinking. Thinking activate what? Thinking. So engage, interact with people. I was in Kaduna and somebody followed me from Abuja. He works in immigration, he's doing well, and the brother is doing well in business. He told me how his younger brother succeeded. He said when he came from NYSC, these are all those listing, and I'll link it to your question. When he came from NYSC, he said his younger brother, what was he doing? He said he was pushing a wheelbarrow, his younger brother. So he now said, okay, try and go to school and everything. The boy said, no, you should give me your generator. I want to do phone, I want to charge phone. And then he started charging phone in the front of their house. More people were coming, so he now moved to the market. That boy is a multi-millionaire today. In fact, the bank, I was going to collect money from my mother when my mother was a teacher in our local government. Our land, he has bought that place. Bank of the North, it has crashed now. That building, see, they broke into two, he bought part of it. The brother was telling me that he was charging phone. From then he starts selling phone. His brother said, he say anything he wants to do, just call the boy, gives him 10 million. He told me in Abuja there, look at this stretch of flats I'm saying, it's owned by his younger brother. He was started by selling phone. He started charging. Just anything can just grow. If you tell a graduate to be doing phone charging business, he will do it. You see this pride. We don't understand the dignity of labor. All labor is the same thing. Someone sit down and say he's a manager. What are you a manager for now? Some people are sending you. You are a messenger too. So long as you are not the owner of that business. You know that you are a higher level of all of you are messengers. You are a messenger now. They call for a meeting, yes sir. In fact, you are shaking and coming for that meeting, and you say you are a director. You see the dignity of what? Labor. This time the brother has a lot. He calls his brother, younger brother, my younger brother. Say your younger brother is a multi-millionaire. He told me that please tell me anywhere, any investment I can. I will go and meet him, I'll collect money. I will collect the profit, I'll return his money back. And he told me so that anytime, listen now, you see people that will do well, you will know. This is a senior officer in immigration. Senior officer now. He's a young man, he's in his 40s, but he has grown in the sun. He was telling me. He said he doesn't live on his salary. He told me that he's just paying almost 500,000 now to pay school fee for himself and some of his siblings. He told me how much is his salary. Maybe like 150,000. Some are in boarding, some are this, and he said he pays school fee, does a lot of things. So close to 600,000. He not told me that most times, because he's a government worker, he said he's always at home in our place there. He said he showed me picture of himself inside that shop. He said sometimes that when he said every day, he said the boy make close to 12 to 15,000 naira every day on charging phones. It's not about the cell phones, second phone, new phones, a lot of things, and he has started branching into different places in Kogi State. And then he said every day, and now calculated it in a month, he makes close to 350 to 400,000 charging phones a month. He said the installation of solar and everything. I told us about everything about human life translate to wealth, right? That there's more money there's more money inside the human being than what? More resources for money inside the human being than inside the soil. And that's the problem Nigeria is having. Wealth, oil, that inside what? The human being. Just because you want to watch football, fantasy wealth, right? And there are different kinds of speculative wealth, open wealth, fantasy wealth, and skilled wealth. Just they want you to. The money they make from premiership is bigger than your oil money. People just want to watch football, and I told you I don't know watching football. What did I tell you they are doing? I want to understand. If you understand, what? Human being is conquest. He wants to dominate. They tell you that this is your club. There's a way they do that. Their promotion. You are not there sitting down to watch ball. You just want your team to win. Whether they play well, is it football you are watching? Those days that those samba boys, those kids, you are not interested. Just put the ball inside the net. Hey, go. So they have created something about, because human being is conquest, you want to conquer. Oh, my team is leading, my team won the premiership, my team won. They gave that one to you. And it translates to work to them. You see genius. And then another one is, what did I say? Anxiety, right? Yeah, they know you are anxious, suspense. Then every two days, they are sending it 5 minutes. There's one that my wife is watching and they have dragged me to start watching. Now this thing is not interesting. It's interesting. After watching some few episodes, it's like you call another bad marriage. I know some of you watch it on Facebook. 14 minutes clip like this. You want to know what happened? What next? They are dragging your suspense nation and they are converting it to it. They just create a story. They just build something simple. Sit down with their computer and everything. You are in the same room. The same thing, right? You see, you are voting. Who want to be my BB, Abi? I think they vote, Abi. I know they vote BB. They say vote, Abi, or something. The champion, the winner. All championship is the human conquest nation. Because human being is dominion. He wants to dominate. Simple. So you see how it works. So now, coming back to your story now. So when I met him, we were in Kaduna together. In fact, we were together when I was calling you, when I was in that hotel that the POS was not working, or the transfer was not working. He was together. He followed me there. So then we started talking. And I told him something. He said, what he has been looking for all this while, that I have it. I'm going to detail. I told him some things like that. So, how things, I've known him from childhood. He now started telling me the things he does. He goes into coal something with Dangote. This is an immigration man. He said he uses his brother's money. And this is how much he makes. Sometimes some months he can make like 500,000, 600,000. He said when he came back he opened a shop for the wife charges phone in that place in Suleja there. And she makes like 4,000 every day. There's no light. If there's light, she can make 2,000. And I calculated it in a month. How much is that? Charges phone. He does POS. He says this is not part of POS. So he just opened a provision shop. He built a house. He just built a shop there. What he imported from his brother. You see, when you converse with people, you should know how others make money. From that one, he has gotten an idea now. Then in him conversing with me, we woke up that morning, we talked at length for hours. He said, what he has been looking for over there, that I have it. That please, he wants me to come. He wants to go and meet his brother. Have a conversation with his brother. He wants to invite me to come. I said, I will come. He said, you are my person. He said, I will come. And I was telling them some things to do. And God give me one wisdom, one key. If I look at your business, I can tell you how you can take it to the next level. People that called me, they were stalking what they were doing. I said, no, do it like this. So they are gifts that God gives men. So he gave me that. So I said, do like this, and the person has made a lot of money. So he told me, I told him a lot of things. He said, please, that I said, okay, I will come. But then because he had conversation with me, that's what I call voice library. And anytime you go into the library, you learn something. anytime you discuss with people, engage people. There are different things in different people. If you come to meet David now, if you want me to teach you about the prayer life, I can help you teach you the prayer. If you want kingdom expansion, I can tell you. If you want, some people don't even know I can discuss business. They don't even know. So if you want business, if you want, it's your marriage you want, anyone, I can do it. So it depends on what you want that you will get back. So by the time you engage, look at people in that sector. You know, you're in business, you move out, you talk and engage people and interact, and before you know it, conversation will lead to conversation, and then it will lead to something big. All right, thank you. The money we are looking for, there are a lot of people looking for businesses to invest in. A lot of them. I told of a young man that can drive, right? And I say a lot of people that are willing to push vehicle to the man. So, okay. All right, I think our time is fast spent. We'll just take one more, and then I'll quit this stage for the organizer. Any other person? Or we are done? If you tell us your name, this is the last one we'll take, and if you like this meeting, we can meet again. Eh? You didn't meet again. These are just where they go. We didn't go inside though. We just touch the ground.
Thank you, Pastor, for this opportunity. You mentioned of engage people. I also talk about planning. Let me make an example of the plan. Like MTI Communication and Airtel. When Airtel came to the area, they stayed in Lagos for like 2 years, planning how to extend their business to other states. But when MTI came in, within 6 months, they spread to more than 16 states. As of today, MTI is the best in Nigeria. So you also talk about engage people, which is very good. What my sister just said about our business. I'm doing some like solar business, solar inverter business. I started 3 months ago. Somebody sold it for me. The person lived in China. He came back during the 2020, and I discovered this solar is better than what the other people is using. I started 3 months ago. I started my own. Then I visited one place in Ojaba to do my phone, and I was telling the man, please, this is your shop. You can easily get solar and inverter here. He said, wow. I said, are you into it? I said, yes. He said, how much can it cost me? And I told him. And he said, in because Olukayode, he said, in this Olukayode shop, they want somebody that will build solar for them, and they will be giving that person 200,000 naira every day. Because each shop, they spend not less than 5,000, 4,000 naira for fueling every day. Some 10,000 naira. So they will be giving that person 200,000 naira. Along the line, when another person, I was discussing with someone, I'm into solar and other things. Say, and I like it, I want to do it. Immediately the person paid for me, and I told him, this was also person told me, say, I can raise you 50 million naira now. I said, are you sure? Since over like 3 days, they have started calling me when I told you what we will get for the place. So when you are engaged people of what you are doing, and also you believe. When the person told me, I told him, he said, hey, you will spend up to 30 million naira. I said, I will get it now. He said, where will you get 30 million naira? But I just believe that I can get it, but I don't have 1 naira. 1 week later, somebody said, you will give me 15 million naira. Let's do the business together. So believe in whatever you are doing and make sure you engage people. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. We are done. So I want to thank every one of us that honored our invitation to be here. Thank you for coming. And the whole essence and purpose of this our conversation is we can climb the rung of the economic ladder or the wealth ladder, to climb the rung of the ladder and then start doing something productive. And the organizers are here, so they will work it out for subsequent conversation that we're going to have. But ultimately, we want to build an economic, just like an entrepreneurship hub, where entrepreneurs can come and talk together, engage together and do brain teasers. This is allowed. Here, brain teaser is allowed, but if you leave here, don't go and do brain teaser. Go and earn what? Money. Go and earn money. Some of you, age is going. Some of you are 30, 35. Some of you are 40. And you still have this hope that you are going to make it. Is it when you are 60? So you have to do something now? Because you can what? You can do it. Thank you. God bless you.